Hey everyone, it's NerfBoyProductions here, and with 2016 coming to a close, pretty much all of the blasters have been released. I think it's time to do an update on one of my favorite series. This is the 2017 update for my favorite blasters from each series. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at each series Nerf has and my favorite blaster from each one. Pretty simple, but before I do get started, I just want to say that I'm excluding a few series. Specifically, I'm not doing Vortex because I never really had that many of them because I just wasn't a fan of them. I'm also excluding Rebel because I'm NerfBoyProductions, not Nerf Girl, so I don't go near the Nerf Rebel toys. There's also old stuff like Dart Tag guns and stuff I'm not including, but that's about it. So if I miss anything, let me know, but for now, let's get started. So we're gonna kind of go from oldest to newest, starting off with just original yellow N-Strike guns. This was kind of hard. I'd like to give some honorable mentions here because I have gone with the Stampede. That's what I've gone with, but I also think that the original Recon was a game changer. So was the original Maverick. You can't go into a thrift store without finding a Maverick. I also like the Spectre for the attachments it came with. And of course, I'm fond of the Alpha Trooper. Also the Longshot, and even the Mag Strike. Even the original Raven was N-Strike. I'm just saying, N-Strike produced some amazing blasters. But to me, the Stampede has came out on top. This blaster was just the one I remember getting for Christmas and having my mind blown. I got the set from Costco. They came with 3 18-dart magazines, the massive shield, the bipod with the popping out legs. Takes 6 D batteries. This thing's a heavy monster for a young kid. But holy crap, when you held down the trigger, it was so loud, and it's got this clear port so you can see the whole gun working inside. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tactical rails, a massive jam door, huge stock, and you can even look through the iron sights underneath the top rail. It is so cool. Like this video if you agree that the Stampede is one of, if not the coolest N-Strike gun. Of course, this video is all opinionated, so that's my opinion. You're free to host your own. Moving on down the line here, let's just go into N-Strike Elite. From N-Strike to the Elite series. I think if you're a longtime fan, you know the answer, but my favorite blaster has always and probably will always be the Rapid Strike. Couple of reasons. This blaster is what I find to be one of the most comfortable ever made. I think it looks friggin' awesome. And it's one of the blasters that put me on the map as far as my YouTube channel goes. When I posted my review of this blaster and showed how passionate I was for it, you guys really seem to enjoy it, and I won't forget it, you know? When I think about the Rapid Strike, it really kickstarted my channel. And of course, fully automatic blasting, tons of tactical rails, barrel attachment point, extending stock, the same looking through the tactical rail, just like on the Stampede. Pretty much the Elite version of the Stampede. Funny how that works. But I love this guy. What you also may know if you're a super fan is that the Rapid Strike is really only my favorite blaster when modified. See, stock bare bones, as Rapid Strike really needs more power, and compared to the things coming out nowadays, it's slow and it's not firing nearly as far as a Hyperfire. It's more comfortable and it looks cooler, and I dig it more. So when it's modified, new motors, higher voltage, all that stuff, kind of like this, then it's my favorite blaster. But if this were a completely stock world where we weren't allowed to modify our toy guns, I'd have to say that the Strife is the best. The prices you can find these things going for right now is insanely cheap, and the Strife revolutionized Nerf, man. That dual flywheel system, these things are so expandable with a stock attachment point, barrel attachment point, sling points, 2 tactical rails, big jam door, clip system, and they only took like 4 double or AAA batteries. The Strife really changed the game, and like I said, for the price you can find these things at nowadays, you can't go wrong. You can easily turn a little tiny toy this big, very cheap, into something like this. I mean, these Strifes are crazy, and like I said, the amount of things you can do with them is wild. They perform great, and again, the price is hard to beat. So, in a stock world, I think the Strife is a better suit for anybody, but when modified, a Rapid Strike kicks butt. Okay, let's do Sambi Strike. If you're looking at the back wall, you're a little cheater and you know what I took down. The Sling Fire. The Sling Fire is so cool. The Sambi Strike line does not try and go for practicality, and I love that. If you want practicality, get an Elite gun. But if you want a gun that looks awesome, is super fun to use, and all out amazing, the Sling Fire is great. In my opinion, it's got clip system. The way you load it, you can do this, you can do this, or you can do that. Tactical rail, again, all that stuff. Nice comfy stock. It's a great size for someone my size. And for Nerf wars and movies and stuff like that, it's just simply impossible to beat that flippin' awesomeness. I know the Sling Fire is probably not the most practical gun, and in a war I've used it, and slinging it like that every time you want to fire is annoying, but it's cool, and that's what Sambi Strike's really doing. They're making cool guns. Think about any other blaster in the line. They're all not very useful, maybe the hammer shot, but most of them aren't, so with usefulness aside, this is the king, in my opinion. Before we move on, I want to jump back to the N-Strike Elite, and I just kind of thought of a pistol category I'd like to go to, because when I was thinking about how many Elite blasters exist, I was like, how do I choose? So I came up with a series for the small guys, and it's a tie between the Dual Strike and the Strong Arm. I love them both. The Dual Strike, if you don't know, very cool. It's basically a triad in the front and a mega triad in the bottom. There's a little switch on the side. You can select whether you want to fire elite darts or mega darts. So it kind of is half mega, half N-Strike Elite. So for that reason, if I had to pick a strictly N-Strike Elite favorite pistol, can't go wrong with a Strong Arm. They're easy to mod, they're fun. Really reliable stuff. Slam fire pistol, 6 rounds, clicking rotating drum. You can do this. Pretty cool. Yeah, obviously, can't go wrong with a Strong Arm. But I do love a Dual Strike, so let's use this blaster to transition into the Megas. What on earth could be my favorite Mega Blaster? Is it a Centurion? Obviously not. Cyclone Shock's cool, but for 6 shots it's pretty big. Roto Fury's alright. All the bows aren't very practical. So, you know, what are we left with? My favorite mega gun is absolutely the Big Shock. 1 round in, stores a round on top. Basically a mega jolt. But one of the reasons I also love this pistol is if you've seen my mod guides for the Big Shock, I show you how to convert these to shoot elite darts very, very far or rival rounds. Both mods pretty much involve the same steps, but it's super easy. I kid you not, that round bounced across my room, back and into the bucket full of rival ammo. Anyways, what I was saying, these guns are easy to mod, follow my mod tutorials. The plunger's so big on this, when you mod it to shoot either a tiny rival round or an elite dart, the power is immenseful. Also, just plain mega darts in this thing are really awesome. It's small, it's really comfy in my hands, and packs a punch. Honestly, Big Shock, my favorite mega. So the Big Shock can also shoot rival ammo. What's my favorite rival gun? You dirty cheaters looking at the wall. The Rival Atlas is absolutely my favorite. Shoots 2 rounds at once. I love the way it loads. Super simple. Nice jam door on the side. Something a lot of Rivals guns are missing. Oh yeah, and it's really loud. Honestly, if you want to know more, go check out my review of that blaster, but holy bonanza, that is absolutely my favorite Rivals blaster. Next, let's go to Modulus. Modulus has brought us some interesting stuff, but honestly, who can argue that the Tri-Strike is the best? Hamp blaster on the front, missile launcher in the stock, and a really great bolt-action rifle in the center. Mega, elite darts, and missiles all in one, for a pretty good price too. And of course, if you don't like all that gizmos and gadgets, you can turn the base of the Tri-Strike into whatever you want. It's kind of like a long strike, really stripped down with these barrel attachment and stock attachment points, but the grip is comfy again, clip system, how can you complain? And it just works. Not much to say there, simply because a lot of the other Modulus blasters aren't very good, so not that hard for the Tri-Strike to win. So let's move on to the Doomland stuff. We got 2 different Doomland series. We have 2169 and we have Impact Zone. So 2169, the winner for me, is the double frickin' dealer. The double dealer is so cool. Just the look of it, I love it. 2 mags or clips in the sides, giant handle, pump it like that. I feel like you could attach a blade to the front and slash your enemies every time I pick this thing up. Extra storage for more clips or mags in the back. Tactical rail, even though you don't need it. There's 2 on top. Slam fire or regular fire. The only thing I wish is that it was a little bit longer. Maybe the stock's extendable, something like that. It's just a little bit tight for me, so I wouldn't be able to shoulder it, that's for sure. But, hey, compared to the Vagabond or the Lawbringer, Or that little snub nose thing. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And now, I didn't want to do Impact Zone because I only have 2 of the guns. We got the long arm, which is not the winner. Obviously, it's the Desolator. Basically a reshelled Strife, but I find it's comfier than the Strife. 2 tactical rails, no stock attachment points or anything, but just the magazine's worth it. Also, I think the blaster just looks really, really cool. Very Arctic style. I'd really love to make an Arctic Nerf war using tons of Doomland's Impact Zone guns in the future. If they make more of them, a full-out war with like, oh man, all white guns, it would look so cool. Impact Zone, Desolator, pretty much a no-brainer. That about sums it up, everyone. I mean, I guess technically Nerf is branding the AccuStrike line as also N-Strike Elite, in which case, I guess the Alpha Hawk would be my fave, because it's very comfy, rubberized handle, spring-loaded side-action rifle. That's a very cool blaster as well. But in all honesty, if I had to have one gun from each series out of this entire room, those are the guns I would choose. Let me know what you would choose in the comments below. Like I said, this is my opinion, so if your favorite blaster wasn't mentioned, just know that it actually was so hard to choose. What's my favorite? But that's my favorite. Going into 2017, we'll probably do maybe a mid-year one of these and then another one at the end, just kind of updating you guys, because it is changing. It is changing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe because I have new videos every single Saturday. And if you missed it, most recent upload is right there. And also, here's a random video selected for you by me. With all that said, time for me to go, so I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, this was NerfBoyProductions, signing off.